Drafting is the process of raising water from a static source to supply a pumper for fire operations. Static water sources include lakes, canals, saltwater sources, portable water tanks, and swimming pools. Challenges and safety considerations. Accessibility. For instance, the distance to the water source. Size. Will the size of the water source be able to supply the needed fire flow? Lift. From the surface of the water to the center of the pump. With an engine carrying 20 feet of hard suction hose, aim to stay within a lift of 18 feet to allow 2 feet of water over the strainer when securing that water source. Usability. Is there grass or debris that could clog the strainer? Reliability. Are the conditions of the water going to change over time? And runoff and erosion, which can cause an unsafe situation on an apparatus that's placed on unsteady ground if this is not considered ahead of time or monitored throughout the process. Properly position the apparatus near the drafting site and inspect water source for adequacy. Connect one or both sections of hard suction if needed, ensure all gaskets are in place, and attach the strainer and float ball. Note, any cracks or deficiencies in the hose will not allow proper drafting. Tighten all connections with a rubber mallet to make sure there's no air leaks. Attach hard suction to the preferred intake based on topography. The intake must be the 6-inch style steamer connection on the front of the apparatus or directly on the side into the pump panel. No external valves or stores connections can be positioned in between. When drafting from the side intake, the procedure is similar as from the front. Remove any adapters or connections from the steamer. Check the gaskets and make the connection with the hard suction to the side of the pump panel. Tighten the hard suction with a rubber mallet just as you would on the front. Open the manual intake valve for that side inlet. This is the only part that's different from the front. The front intake has an electronic valve. When using the front intake, it can theoretically be more difficult to obtain a draft because you essentially have another length of hard suction running underneath the apparatus to the pump panel. Make sure all valves are closed and caps are tight on the apparatus. If the apparatus needs repositioning after hard suction is attached, personnel shall support the hard suction while the apparatus is being repositioned to the water's edge. The hard suction strainer must be placed 18 to 24 inches below the surface of the water. Place the wheel chocks and put the pump into gear. A nozzle or hose line should be set up to keep the prime once the draft is accomplished. Open the intake valve that you are using. Switch the pressure governor from pressure to RPM mode and increase the speed range to 1,000 to 1,200 RPMs. If not achievable, reassess all bleeders, drains, valves, connections, gaskets, and any unused openings for air leaks. Once the draft is established, slowly open a discharge valve and increase the throttle to maintain a minimum PSI of 50. This allows the nozzle to circulate water through the system, maintaining the draft and thus not losing prime. This also gives you a tool to clear debris as it wants to float near the strainer. Now you can place the pressure governor back to pressure mode for operation of hand lines. Don't forget to top off your tank. In case there is a sudden loss of draft, you will have a backup water supply. Once the tasks are completed and the water supply is no longer needed, decrease the engine speed to idle, shut down any discharges, and take the pump out of gear. Once the operation has been completed, completely drain the pump and backflush the pump through a discharge and backflush all equipment used in the operation. This concludes the Palm Beach Gardens Fire Rescue Training video. Thank you for watching.